What's up? I'm Carter from The Rattlesnakes, and you're watching PureGrainAudio. We were pretty prepared with this. Like, I mean, obviously, Dean and I are both artists, so we document everything that we have. Really, the key was to find some way of selling music, so they felt that they were ripping us off. And with this is just, you know, for the amount you would spend for a CD, you get so much, like you get a really intimate look at the band. All the extended lyrics, you get sheet music so you can learn to play the stuff, like, and then like you said, like there's a lot of behind the scenes photography, but really a really inside look at the screen grabs of our conversations, everything. So for us, this is how I intend to release album. That's what it was. I'm glad it's doing what it was supposed to do. The extended lyrics have obviously the song inside, but that one was just a little bit beyond what I was willing to share. It was all about my daughter, and I think, you know, there's still a lot of personal stuff in there about her, and I just held on to it. I think some people felt a bit cheated by that, because they were like, well, you said you'd release everything, and I did, but I changed my mind. I mean, we ship internationally. To get it from us, you then have to pay some hefty shipping, but I don't think it was made anywhere outside of our store. 2 actually, and both were, we did a week of acoustic shows for the album release, and in that time we were playing some acoustic versions of songs, and then I was reading from the extended lyrics as well, and it was really fun. It was intense. Yes and no, like I write a lot in my phone. I used to be like a very physical, analog guy, and then I found that I just didn't have room, you know, I didn't have room. I didn't want to turn the light on and wake my wife up to write, so I just started putting everything in my phone, and actually the majority of Modern Room was done in my phone. Since then, I think I've flipped and I've gone back to journals, so I've had a notebook that I've been kind of scribbling in on the road, and then half of it has been on the laptop and half has been in there, but it's kind of whatever is to hand now. When lightning strikes, then I'll just use whatever medium I have to capture it. There's no B-sides. There are tracks that we scrapped in the studio, and the thing about them is that Wildflowers, we actually wrote Wildflowers when we wrote Blossom. But we just knew that it wasn't the right temperament for Blossom. You know, it needed to be, we wanted to hold it back. So we held it back and we put it on Modern Ruin. There are 2 songs that didn't make the cut for Modern Ruin because they were the wrong temperament. So we may see them in the future, but also we're writing a lot. We haven't started writing album 3 yet, but when we get into it, I don't think we won't be lacking. We've been documenting the tour kind of religiously. Like, I've brought my film camera out, Dean's got his film camera out. You know, Gaz has started taking photos during the set. He's becoming a bit of a budding photographer. There will be a deluxe edition, you know, an extended version that will have probably like quite an extensive acoustic record with it. I am. I try not to be like, I try to sort of let people make their own minds up about that stuff. I think all of the information is out there, all the information I've had is out there. So I try not to lead too much, but I also want to stand up for what I believe is right. And I believe like the government that we have at the minute was unelected and has essentially destroyed like everything I love about my country. You know, they've ruined the NHS. They basically look after the top tiers of people, and they care not for working class people. They care not for arts. They literally care about corporations and withholding tax, and it's just a miserable process to be a part of. So yeah, I will be voting in the general elections. You know, as much I love Jeremy Corbyn, I think he could be a great leader. Like, I understand people's problems with him as a leader, but I think like compared to what we've got already, like, he's a saint. So I take the person that's been fighting all their life for the right thing than someone that was gifted a Tory government on a plate, because the the last one was a coward. It's never ever been a worry of mine. Like I mean, it gets harder. It gets a lot harder, and I am fairly exhausted a lot of the time. And it's, you know, I'm 33 now. Like, I don't heal the same way I did when I was 20. But that what it's meant is that, like, you know, music is my life. Music is what I love, and it's what I live for, and it's what I want to do for a long, long time. So in order to do that, I then had to make sure that I was capable. So all that happened was, I don't eat or drink the same way I did when I was 23. You know, I eat much cleaner now. I'm much healthier. I work out every day, and the show is part of that ritual. You know, everything about technology is amazing. Right now, we're living in a digital frontier, and it is about the most exciting time you could be alive. I think, you know, it's incredible the things that we're doing in technology, and it's also utterly terrifying. But I mean, I speak about this on a daily basis with, like, my parents, and I sort of say to them, like, man, was it always this scary when you know, and they were like, yeah, it was fucking way worse. Like, it's terrifying when you first got the internet. We didn't know what was going on. And then I think back and I think, man, like, how it must have been for, like, you know, cavemen when they just go on fire, and they probably thought then, like, oh, what have we done? Like, our poor kids. Do you know what I mean? Like, I'm sure throughout time, you know, like, history has just got a way of, like, yeah, the developments as they come, they must seem pretty terrifying. We just played a show, Shake Your Knees, in Atlanta, and I got to see this band, Highly Suspect, and I just thought they were phenomenal. I really did. Like, and it takes a lot for me to be moved by music. Like, I've shared stages with some incredible performers, and for some reason these guys, they just walked out and they looked like so calm and so, like, certain in their own skin. Just something about that, the level of, like, relaxed that they had on the stage was pretty phenomenal. So basically, like, every now and again, Kerrang! Magazine does a version of the magazine where they pick a band and they just put out covers. And they asked us if we wanted to do it, and, like, we were like, yeah, of course. And I think we were one of the first bands that they asked, and they're like, you can have anything. And we were just like, Wrathchild. Like, because it was an out of the box one. Like, you know, everyone was gonna be fighting over the same songs, and frankly, like, we also just didn't really want the responsibility of that. We wanted to do something that was just, that no one else would probably want to touch, and that one was a classic, you know, for all the right reasons.